Hey everybody, this is Dark Guardsman. We're back with another video. Still a bit under the weather, but we'll manage through it. So last couple days I've been working on various small features trying to get through the cold I have, and one of the things I ended up working on was the permission system. Now it's not overly elegant, it's still in the early phases, it's something I really should have actually implemented here months ago and I never got around to it. But for the most part, this is the Sentry GUI. For those who are not familiar with it, we got an inventory for ammo. We've got a selection system where you can select what targets you want to shoot at. It actually will tell you what they are. So target all, target non-friendly, hostile, etc. I'll get back to these as we go. Here are the permission GUI, upgrades, and settings which are not implemented. So this is the thing that just got changed, so it's basically implemented at this point. It's just a simple text box, a save button, and a little indicator to tell you when the profile has loaded or if it's not loaded. So if you end up messing up typing, so say for example I remove the 6 and hit save, it'll tell me it's not actually there. And if I hit 6 again, it won't work. And I hit save, it'll actually show up. Or at least that's in theory how it's supposed to work. We'll end up actually getting back into it. So you may be asking, what is the permission system, everything? So if you hit control and then tilde, so the little weird key next to your one key, you guys will figure it out. You get this GUI. This is the permission GUI. Now this will end up actually changing over time. I actually plan to use this GUI for the wiki down the road later, and for those who don't understand what I mean by the word wiki, so I'm Wikipedia basically. We'll end up having a manual here that actually show you how to use various machines as well as other GUIs and stuff. So this will be part of the system. But for the most part, is how you get to the permission system, and in here you can create new profiles and everything else. I've already got a couple profiles created because I've been testing and stuff. But if you want to make a new profile, you click new profile, type in a name. So say for example, I want to make a profile for main base. So control all my permissions to main base. You can, some of the stuff doesn't actually end up working, but the save button works. Ignore the graphic issues. It's just an issue with how the fact the shadow system isn't properly functioning, is breaking the text rendering. So you get a new group from the main base. It'll show you different tabs. Right now the group tab is the only one that actually does work. It's to let you manage the groups. You can come in here and by default you'll get a user group, an admin group, an owner group, a hostile, and friendly. The bottom two are used only for FOF system. So if you don't want to give somebody any kind of access to your sentry guns or anything, you can add it to the bottom two groups. Hostile will basically mark them to always be killed as long as they're using one of the various permission groups or various target types. Friendly will basically say don't shoot at them. So you can end up actually coming down here and say, for example, if I wanted to add my brother to this list, hit add, and he's in the list. Once again, ignore the text rendering problems. I am fixing them. So I'll put them in the group, and of course you can come in here and you can actually add people to the user group. This is supposed to, in theory, once I get all the permissions, I'm going to give them basic access to the GUI, ammo bay, admin, of course, will give admin level access, and owner will give somebody access to owner of the group, which will allow them to pretty much change everything. There are other things in this GUI you can work with. For example, you can set the parent of the group, so you can actually add a hierarchy system, and of course you can set the permission nodes. There's not a huge amount of use for this, but if you wanted to say create custom groups and stuff and do various things, which is not currently implemented in the GUI but is done via the command system, you could actually make more groups. You could actually have, say, sector 1 or sector 2 groups where you can say, okay, this person can enter sector 1 or this person can't enter sector 1, and have different permission nodes for those each different settings for your sentry guns to shoot and everything. So once you get this all done though, once you get a new group created, you can hit this little arrow at the top to copy the profile ID, and then come into your sentry gun. And if I wipe out this entire text here, which you have to just hit the backspace repeatedly, hit paste, I get a group in there, and I can hit save, and it will actually show up indicating that it's actually loaded. And now this sentry gun will use my permission system, so any changes I make to this group right here will automatically be synchronized to the sentry gun. This is actually really cool. For those who have seen the older sentry gun mods, they will know that the original 1.6.4 version and older, you had to manually enter the username into every single sentry gun you owned. This version, you can literally just hit control tilde, hit reload to download the profiles, and then just edit this and add more people to your friends list and continue adding. So say for example I can add DMod, I can then add say Grogger, and I would have more people on the list, and this guy would automatically get all those settings. And he doesn't actually store any of this stuff. This stuff is automatically resynchronized every time he goes to access it. And of course, you would have to mess with these settings as well. So getting into how this works, target all will shoot everybody but the owner. So if you own the sentry gun and you all suddenly decide you want this sentry gun to shoot everybody but yourself, you can click target all and it'll kill everybody. Target non-friendly will shoot at neutral, so people who are not on your profile list, and people marked as hostile. So if you're on any of the other groups, so if you're marked as friendly, or you're a user, or you're an admin or owner marked on that, you will not get shot at. Target hostile will only shoot people in the hostile list, so you have to mark them as hostile for them to get shot as hostile. Target neutral will shoot at anybody who's not on the profile. It will not shoot at hostiles either, so if you put somebody on the hostile list, it's weird. This is designed for specific edge cases where you want to shoot at everybody but people you put on the list, and of course target 9 will target nobody, so you will have no chance of being shot at player. Key thing to note, that if there is no profile loaded into the system, the sentry guns will default into target none. This will actually be reflected in the GUI later on as I get more opportunity to work on this, especially as well for some of these other types. A lot of the other types will start to be able to use the permission system as well, so there will be entities that you can actually mark as do not shoot at. So if you have like pets and stuff, they won't shoot at the pets. Various other things like minecarts, etc. That's pretty much been it. I will get back to you with more videos here later. Hopefully by then my cold will be gone and I can actually talk a little bit more clear and do a better, more detailed tutorial on how to use this.